Hello, welcome to another episode of Cotton. And today we're going to discuss the recent developments in Nepal. And we have a very special, distinguished guest from Nepal who is a professor in Tribhuvan University. And he is a professor of political science, he's a political scientist, and he has written many books on federalism and state formation, political party building, and he was also UN observer, election observer. So I'm really glad that you could spare time to be with us with Northeast Now. So we welcome you to our discussion, to this interview. Now, the first thing I would like to ask you is a little overview of the developments which which have happened in last few days in Nepal.
Okay, it is a kind of blast of people's frustration that emerged since couple of years, especially on issues of political corruption and power politics hijacked by commission agents and power brokers and nepotism. These are the stories that almost all Nepali have become familiar, that eventually lead to loss the trust to the leader, especially the political leaders, those who are in the helm of power. Nevertheless, till couple of days before, Nepal was not following Sri Lankan and Bangladesh upheavals for a simple reason. My understanding is Bangladesh and Sri Lanka had a common stories. The voices of the people and the opposition was not put in the right track, or say they were under state suppression. The beauty of Nepal till the couple of days, though people anger are there, people frustration were there, but there was outlet that people can ventilate their anger, frustration. So we had unrestricted freedom of speech, freedom of expression. The
Yeah. Hello.
government restricted media. Then the people did not find a way to express their dissent, to express their anger, to express their frustration. That eventually lead to uh, call a moment. Actually, it was a moment. The moment was unanticipatedly terminated within the 2 days. In the first days, it was a massacre from the state. In the following days, it was a somehow spontaneous response. But
Yes. Hello.
at the same time, when you had a mob, which might have some forces also involved in the mob, uh, the end product is it was the things happen beyond what general mass of the people thought about. We never even think about the burning of our parliament, burning of our central secretary, burning of Supreme Court, and many public spaces or public property. It was not a story of only the Kathmandu, all over the country, especially including the Madhes belt. The public offices from ward office to village or urban government office, they were born In the same time, so we somehow see this is a mystery. So we can easily say that someone manipulated, someone hidden forces uh, manipulated the genuine anger of the common people. So eventually, it all of a sudden it led to collapse many things. This is what happened in last couple of days, and now
Now,
we have an
now,
interim government.
yeah.
Sorry.
Now, two things actually. Two things I want to ask you. First thing, you said that okay, dissatisfaction, this anger of the people, the frustration of the people, they were actually building up. So my question was, these troubles, so this affection, dissatisfaction, and frustration of the people. You said that it was actually brewing, but for how long it was there?
No, the question is all over the world, uh, especially in every day. I mean, it has been accumulation of decades and decades. But recently, the people have some institution, some person to blame. These are their representative because people express their trust and belief through their voting. So most recently, there are in last 2 3 years after 2022 election, there are many big scandals that come out in the public notice, in which top leaders of political parties were implicated. The state did not properly respond. State simply formed a commission. The commission report was not browsed out, and the culprits were not punished. Then people began to suspect that there was dealing between the political party leaders and culprits, or say those who involved in the scandal. So when such kind of including that went to the extent of abuse of the Bhutani refugees, said that the people in authority, which branded some Nepalis as a Bhutanese and sent them, and there are lists of more than hundreds people who were supposed to go abroad. They are Nepali, and it was a question of national integrity and pride as well. If the commission form at that time come out very honestly and bring the stories in the public notice and take the action against those who are culprit, maybe there will be some space that people trust will live. That is one of the example. There are many other examples. For instance, next to the maybe border of Northeast India, there is a tea plantation that the government, uh, uh, I mean, I don't know what the exact words, in Nepali words, adigrahan, which is minimum amount of money. So people began to anger. There are a lot of, at least very recently, there was also a case of the setting. Setting means bureaucracy, politics, and commission agents.
So
So uh, there
there's
was
nexus.
number of the person who were in setting. They were sent to the abroad. So commission was there, and uh, the last 3 months, there was a cry and there was a voice that this is not a simple small business. This is not a simple case. It involved in the national pride. So if the state machinery itself involved in such a abuse of power, then in abroad, all the Nepalese passport will be suspected. The other question is, we did perhaps we did have a strong opposition for a couple
In Nepal, you have a strong opposition in Nepal.
since the day beginning, but built an alliance, and we can trust that we do have a powerful, meaningful opposition. And the state is running without meaningful, powerful opposition, which means there was not a proper outlet to carry the voices of the masses in the parliament. So many things were there.
I just want to know that, okay, we could understand that there was widespread corruption and you see nepotism and all kinds of those things. But the thing is, when this protest happened, why they burn the public properties, and that too simultaneously at many places all over the country.
That is why I'm saying this is very mysterious story, and many people suspect that the Gen Z's protest was used an instrument for vandalism, for destruction. So exactly, in many cases, it will be difficult to find out exactly who is mind behind the scene. Nevertheless, we are waiting for an investigation, powerful investigation committees. But one thing which make me very surprised, and that is why I could say it is a mistress. In the
Yeah.
same time, especially party leader houses, even that we can understand. But burning of public
It's
offices, ward offices, in the same time, can it have proper planning? That is why I say this is very
yeah, that
mysterious.
there is something suspicious. There
Yeah.
is the needle of suspicion towards somebody. Some mysterious forces were behind all these things. Now, one thing I would like to know from you, that is, Nepal was a monarchy for long many years, for maybe more than 200 years. So the monarchy was dethroned. The monarchy actually was replaced in 2008. Now, after 2008, uh, if we see, we find that there is not much political stability in Nepal. So why is it that? Why is
No,
it?
no.
Because
Okay, actually, I I make difference between political stability and government instability. Actually, we did not have much political instability. We have government instability. Many people began to interpret the political instability. It is something when your system and your political system does not work. Right. The question is, we Nepal did not have that kind of the problem. The problem is instability of government, right? Now,
instability of governance.
government, yeah, because politics was too much concentrated on the power politics, this eventually lead to change the government in short period of time, which was not good. But the question is, how we have to take together many things. We need representative democracy. We need liberal. I mean, liberal democracy should include the component of inclusive democracy as well. That these two makes a vital part is try to bring together by our electoral system. And our electoral system, we say the mixed electoral system of FPTP and PR. In such electoral system, the chances of hung parliament is very high. But if politics is, I don't say absolutely, but relatively clean, that it is the skill of management of hung parliament with the formation of coalition government. But coalition governments, the politics of Hung Parliament and coalition government, it was driven in a way only the handful of the leaders and people surrounding over them, or backroom boys, commission agents. So those who have been benefited, people's process who have seen such kind of the protest expression in number of time. The most recent, it was in 1951, 4 years after the India's independence. It took almost 3 months to bring the change. In 1990, it takes almost 1.5 months to end the multi-party system and to reinstate the multi-party system. Even if we forget the one decade run for 90 days, and only then the change happened. Here, and maybe this is
Hello.
very uniquely, we have to be. It is the change of the government. We still retain our constitution. We still retain our republic system. We still retain our federal system. These are the new attributes of Nepali state. Overnight, the government changed because state was unable to resist, or state was unable to handle mob. So maybe this is very unique things that we could not make a general theoretical narratives to understand what happened recently.
Yeah. So you you are saying that okay, there's no political instability, political systems are all working, but somehow there's the governance was not actually, somehow there's some problem with the governance. Now, my question is that so far Nepal is concerned, what are its main resources? What are the main resources of Nepal? And
Okay,
uh,
sometimes in the history before the entry of modernization, Nepal was proud to say that the forest is our prime resources. Uh, in the first decade, when Nepal entered into modern period, we said that Nepal is rich enough in the agriculture. We export the agro products. Nowadays, uh, we don't have that much proud on forest. We don't have that much proud on agriculture. Now we have one major natural resource on which Nepal can take a large hydropower that could be used
hydropower.
for irrigation hours. That is why I use the general of water. The second is tourism, including the tourism water in the sense, I mean, we have many things that tourism could be promoted. We have a lot of, for those who are interested for mountaineering, everybody knows that
This
uh,
Himalaya.
Everest is here,
Himalaya.
wide ranges Himalayas. And for those who are looking for cool, Nirwan, a very conducive for that. And especially for religious. And we know the population of India is nearly 100 times than Nepal. And we do have potential to attract the religious tourism always. So if I have to count, the first major source is the water or hydro. The second is the tourism.
Okay. Now, the thing is, then when it comes to hydropower and also agriculture or forest, you see, there are two ways of using the natural resources. One is the sustainable way of using the natural resources, where actually generation after generation people can use the natural resources, and these natural resources are also maintained properly. And then there is also over exploitation of natural resources, and when you over exploit, then what happens, it lead to environmental problems. So far the sustainable development is concerned, how is Nepal doing, or what is the situation so far the environmental degradation is concerned?
Okay, I mean, we have been suffering for environmental degradation, but we know we are not culprit for environmental degradation, right? And Nepal is not, uh, I mean, almost this is a country which does not have a significant number of the industry. Since we have two big neighbors, big neighbors means those are very prosperous and industrial product.
I'm
And
coming to
in
that. I'm coming to that. To China and
okay,
India, I'm coming to that. Yeah.
okay. My point is, in terms of the market, industrial process like enough in the industrial product, contributing negatively for the biodiversity. Just one thing
Hello.
that out of too much vehicle it effect, but in totality, Nepal is not in a bad box. Nepal is not in wrong box so far.
The
Who is the
environmental
culprit for environmental
yeah,
degradation?
yeah. Climate. You see, problem is that climate change is there.
And
Now,
Nepal is receptive of the climate change, not the productor of the climate change. It is
okay,
receptive.
good, great. Now there are top, as you said, that there are two big neighbors. One is China, another is India. Now, how do you see that are these two big countries, are they actually active in the politics of Nepal, or do you see some influence of its neighbors in the present crisis?
Very, very difficult questions. We
Now
can't deny that.
you could be free with me. It's not that
No,
I'm
I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, uh, obviously, all the bigger countries have big ambition. All right. Uh, just we know uh, two populist leader in our neighbors. One is Modi ji.
yeah.
The handling of the India by Modi is different from the what India is. The already
Hello.
sees it as very assertive, aggressive. No, I mean we are living with two ambitious, you can say two populist leaders. There could be many other words to use these two leaders, right? I can put both of them in the bracket of a populist leader, all right?
Okay.
And the handling of the foreign policy, domestic politics by populist leader, it could have implication at domestic level. It will heighten up the politics of intolerance. It could have
Yes.
spillover effect in the foreign policy also,
Yes.
right? And then we are receptive of the two populist leaders who are our neighbors.
Yeah.
Both have interests. Both want to uh, uh, get involved directly or subtle way to influence the domestic politics of Nepal.
That is quite necessary. Actually, these two powers, that China and India, and you have not said so many things very clearly, very frankly, but then you have said that okay, these two foreign powers, they are affecting the internal politics of Nepal. Now, my last question to you is that now what how do you see the way ahead? So what is it going to lead to? Are you hopeful so that this interim government is formed with the former Chief Justice of Nepal Supreme Court? So how do you see the present situation? Do you think that okay, this is you are hopeful that some normalcy will be maintained and then it will lead to some good governance, pro people action?
So I will respond with our track record of the history, right? We did have an armed revolution in 1951. We have urban protests in 1990. We had Maoist guerrillas spread all over the country for 1 decade in the mid 90s. Once, no matter what was behind the force scene that led to change, but every transition is handled without big loss. Whatever loss we have made, it happened during the, you can say, movement, protest, war, revolution. But the post time, our problem is sustainability. Our problem is uh, not chaotic in the post transition period. So my understanding is even the mainstream parties are helpless, that they have to follow the political course. The political course is heading toward the election. The announcement is to call the election in next 6 months. The earlier the election, the prospect to return in the power is there for those who are now out of the helm power.
Yeah.
And
Now,
those who are impatient to come in power, for them, whoever may be, whichever may be, lose for present loser and present gainer, they both of them need to land on the election. That is why. So I'm till that point I'm optimistic.
good. Now, there's many interesting things have come out during the discussion. Or say you said that okay, there is no political instability. You said that there is instability of actually administration. There is an instability of governance, and then you have again said that okay, you had many instances of actually you see disturbances, chaos, but then again after the chaos, after the protest, after the you see militant developments, even Maoist development and other armed revolution or whatever, there is calm in the society. So that is the post chaos situation is it is not it is not a very disruptive thing that we have actually stopped everything. And in the beginning also you said that okay, there is unlike Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, there's a very good scope of protest dissent in Nepal. Now, another thing, actually, with this thing, I have, I think, 5 6 minutes time. Now, what is the role of army in the whole thing? How do you see the role of army?
So army does not run in one single plan. Army may have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. The way it is landed, the way army facilitated. In South Asia, we do have a tendency to suspect when the army come on the front, right? Especially the India and Pakistan have very what is it, sorrow record of the army involvement in politics, right?
No, in
So
India, no. In India, army is not involved in politics. Pakistan, of course. In
yeah,
India, uh,
so I mean South Asia has two trajectory. So far, army and politics is concerned. Till the date, Bangladesh and Pakistan has a common trajectory that no matter whether you have a civil government, the army is
very powerful.
your de facto ruler, right?
Yes.
But this is not the case of India and Sri Lanka, despite Sri Lanka involved for the civil war in 25 years. We don't have, and we belong to the category of India and Sri Lanka. That
Which is very good, which is most welcome.
okay.
Okay. And so you are hopeful that okay, this instability of governance, you think that it will go away and uh, some kind of stability will come. But
Yes.
what do you think about the quality of democracy? You said in between.
Okay.
You said two things. You are a liberal democracy, and you said that one important aspect of liberal democracy that is that it has to be inclusive democracy. So, if you
Okay.
can tell me in 2 minutes about the quality of democracy in Nepal.
Okay. Nepal has long absence of the inclusive democracy, and Nepal's demo- democratic trajectory is always in line with liberal democracy. It eventually served the interests of only one dominant group, to whom we call Brahmin and Kshatris. Rest are Madhesi Janjati has long been excluded, right? So at the end, only the inclusive democracy can make democracy
What? What?
distributive to the justice of all different castes, ethnic, and religion. That is why the more you head towards the inclusive democracy, because your society demands that. Because for if our is homogeneous society, perhaps we don't need to even hear the inclusive. We will never hear the term in Japan, Korea, China, and many homogeneous countries. But in heterogeneous countries, whether India or Nepal, so and without inclusive democracy means again the democracy is hijacked by one particular dominant group. That we have experience of almost 7 decades that did not bring democracy to the doorstep of the people.
Thank you. Great, great. Thank you very much for sparing time. I think we'll again sometime today. At times, this connection was little disruptive. So maybe next time with little stable connection, we shall come to you and we'll have much more detailed discussion. Thank you once again for sparing your valuable time for the North, for the readers, for the viewers of Northeast Now.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much
much.
from my side also. See you again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.